Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 58. It is Wednesday, September the 25th, 2024. I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I do at the beginning of every video, I send all my love to Stan, my husband, for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you will like what you see, that you will subscribe, ring the bell, share, and do all the things that we do on FlossTubes. For my returning subscribers and viewers, welcome back. I was thinking this morning, as I am wont to do, that now I'm not just looking at a camera. Since we've started having our Zooms together, I really have moments where I can look at this screen and I see your smiles, your eyes, your laughter, what you've been stitching on, and it's just making it better and better. So welcome back. I have a lot to talk about today. I have actually quite the list here. So I may be looking down to make sure that I don't miss anything. But it's been a beautiful 2 weeks. I will insert a little video of my hummingbirds as I'm talking right now. They've just hung around and they've been wonderful, and I just love seeing them all. Sometimes it sounds like a mini helicopter out there. There's so many of them. But I thought you might enjoy saying hello to the hummingbirds. Okay, so what have I got? I've got just a little bit of everything today, and so I think we should just dive in. I have a bunch of news that has been going on in our community that I wanted to just take a minute and share with you. But we will start with, we had Zoom number 5 last Sunday. Absolutely wonderful group of women. There are no other way to describe all of you. Our guest surprise FlossTuber was Karen, the monogamous stitcher, the recovering monogamous stitcher. And I know you guys have heard me mention her a lot because I took the idea from her for a focus piece that I have shown you guys pretty regularly, which is a piece that I pick, and I give it 7 days of each month until it is complete. So it was wonderful having you there, Karen. Thank you. And I think everyone else very much enjoyed spending the time with you as well. So I thought what I would do is I will give the next 10 names for Zoom number 6, and that will be October. Let me look just to make sure, because I want to make sure I get the date right. It will be October the 6th. October the 6th from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 10-6. And this is the 10 names that came up on the random generator. Okay, Southern Gal 71, Nicole C 2523, Lana Luker 6161, Metrostitcher, D Hanson 5490, Pauline Dean 4419, Karen Monick 3310, Emily Williams 3237, and Emily also has a FlossTube that goes by is under her name. I'll list it below. Joan Spooner 151, and barbarahouser. So if you guys would be so kind as to go into the drop-down box and fill out the Google form so that I will have your email so that I can send you the link for the Zoom call. Again, that will be October 6th. I have been asking that you would put Zoom in each in your comment after each video if you would like to Zoom. Now, I am trying to make sure that I go through everyone that hasn't done a Zoom yet first, but we're going to work out some way to keep it going once I feel like that, you know, that we've kind of been through the group that puts Zoom down. So I'm very excited about it, and that will be Zoom number 6 on October 6th. Okay, and I also, while I'm doing that, the last Zoom number 5, Laureen, who has been has kindly donated to me for you some charts that she's had doubles of, had another one that she let me know about, and that's the Dutch mini sampler from Across the Heart. I'll put it down below. I think it's across the, I'm blanking. You guys know I do that. So that's the Dutch mini sampler. So I thought I would pick the word Dutch, D-U-T-C-H, and if you would like to have a chance at having Laureen send that to you, if you would use the word Dutch also in your comment, then I will pick that before the next FlossTube. Remember, you need to be 18 so I can ask you for your address. Please don't use words like giveaway, free, prize, or anything in the comments so that that we don't attract those people that don't know the joy of cross stitch. Okay, so we've got our tent, we've got our Zoom, and we've got the giveaway. So let's go to some news, because we've had some kind of amazing news in the last couple of weeks. One, and it will come to pass in my whips, Sheri, Colorado cross stitcher, has gotten the rights to put out charts of birds of a feather. And I'm sure many of you may have heard that, but if you hadn't, please go watch her last FlossTube where she talks about it. But I will be showing Sally Spencer today because it's one of the samplers that I worked on for Sampler September. And so there is a good chance now going forward that those of you that did not have those charts by Birds of a Feather, you will have access of them through Sheri of Colorado Cross Stitcher. So that I know is very exciting news for everyone. 2, Jody of Cedar River Linens. Please check out her Instagram. I'm sorry, something's starting to blow around here. Let me make sure that doesn't get away from me. Has released 3 new colors of fabrics. So if you will check her Trixie Tricycle Cedar River Linens on Instagram, you can see those 3 new colors. They are absolutely beautiful. And I think they're live as of today and up on her, her website. Very exciting, Marie of Stitches and Diamonds, and also hosts Stitch London, which I think is going to be happening very soon. She and her husband are dyeing fabrics, and they are going to be dyeing fabrics under the name Swan Bay Fabrics, and I will run the Instagram address underneath so that you can go and take a look at the colors that she has that she will be selling. I don't think they're going to go up for sale until after Stitch London, and I think that will be around October 14th. Marie is in London. So, you know, for us in the States, there'll be some issues probably with shipping, but it is a wonderful resource for those of you that are in England and Europe, that you will have access to these beautiful fabrics. And if Marie dyes these like she does everything else in her life, you know it will be top quality. So congratulations, Marie, on having dipped your toe into the fabric dyeing business. So, okay, Then I just wanted to talk about some FlossTubers really quick. One, Sean from the Periwinkle Stitcher. If you're not watching her, you really should be. Her last video that I just watched, I'm just kind of highlighting something that just sort of blew my mind. She showed an embroidery piece, not a cross-stitch piece. She's a beautiful cross-stitcher. She showed an embroidery piece. I think that it was like a book, and it was titled Postcards from England. And it is just worth the price of admission. So I encourage you guys to go over and check out this beautiful book that she's made and embroidery these pieces. I think there's 12 total. It was just, well, it just boggled my mind. I enjoyed seeing the art of her stitching, and just that there are many ways that we can put needle to fabric, right? And then next, Andrew, the runner stitcher, who you all know I met in here in California when he was out here on vacation with his partner, Andrew. Andrew is going to be running the Chicago Marathon on October 13th. And so he just put out his most recent video, and he has a hashtag, Stitch the Chicago Marathon. And I will put all that below. And what he was suggesting is that if you did 10 stitches per mile, so for 26 miles, or 26.2, for the length of what he's going to be running, and pick a project and put that in on Sunday, October 13th, and then you could show on Instagram with the hashtag, and be sure to, to tag Andrew as well. And then he will have a way of knowing that we all supported him for his run. I also know from his FlossTube that Amir, Almond M&Ms, the wonderful silk dyer, she dyes silk floss, is also going to be running this Chicago Marathon. And Amir, I send out best wishes, and I just don't understand you guys running that far. But anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. The next one is Tatiana, and she is Heritage Stitching. And I have given Tatiana a shout out right when she started her FlossTube. But again, one of her recent FlossTubes, she showed, and I was going to look it up, so because Tatiana, I apologize because I know I can't say it correctly, but she does this beautiful Ukrainian stitching on a vyshanka, which is a shirt. It is a traditional Ukrainian shirt. But this was a project that they were matched up, I guess, with soldiers in the Ukraine who are fighting this war that needs to stop. And they were doing the traditional stitching on a piece of fabric as an extra protection under their soldier stuff. And it just touched me very much. And if you watch Tatiana, I think there is an option under her Buy Me a Coffee to make a donation for the fabric that they use to buy for making the shirts. And she had just about completed all the stitching on the shirt for the soldier that she was matched up with. I think it's a beautiful thought. And again, it's just this kindness, and then just the traditional stitching of another country is wonderful to learn about. So Tatiana, I salute you and all of you that are out there stitching and protecting the soldiers in your country. And then I did want to do a shout out for a new FlossTuber, which is Maddie. She's Kitty Stitch. She is from Ohio, and she is a young stitcher, and you guys all know how that makes me so happy. And she is just delightful, great presence on her video. And so I encourage you to go check her out, subscribe, give her the welcome that I know you all can do. And yeah, so you know that. Okay, So I think that was my list of notes that I did not want to forget. So I think the next thing that we'll go into is shares, and I have some beautiful shares today. I'm going to take a little sip of water. Okay. The first one is from Desiree, and it's that amazing piece, Beauty Fades, by Teresa Kogan. And what's very interesting about this piece for her is it was her first pulled thread hem, which is something I know that interests many of us. I think Jacob has put out some videos on doing some of this type of hem stitching. He also has a booklet that I think that can be purchased on his website that shows you how to do this as well. But this is a beautiful piece, and Desiree, thank you for sending that, and congratulations on your first pulled thread hem. The next one is from Mary, and we have seen another completion of this, but I'm very excited about this because I am working on it, and this is a token for my friend, and this was a collaboration between Plum Street Samplers and Heartstring Samplery. And she gifted it to a longtime family friend. Thank you, Mary, for sending that. It's really beautiful. The next one is from Deborah, and this is the Shingle Spring Stitcher, which thank you, Deborah, for always letting us see the beautiful pieces that you have finished and that you have worked on. And today's is Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage. And she stitched this on a 25 count vintage country mocha. Boy, I can make up the words, huh? Lugana, and she stitched it 1/1. So it is so sweet and tiny. So it's lovely, Deborah. And you all know I also am a great fan of doing a 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. And then finally, Tessa has pictures of her ABC pin keep. I think this is an older stitch by Brenda Gervais, and she did it on a 28 count even weave called Driftwood by XJU Designs. Her husband turned the spool that you see in the picture, so that's very cool how husbands and wives can work together with their different crafts. She is known as the Opportunistic Stitcher on Instagram, and I will run her Instagram address underneath. So thank you all again for sending those shares in. I hope you all continue to do it. It's always commented on that people love to see what you're stitching on. So, okay, well, I'm going to show you my planner, not too decorated, but this is for the month of September. As you can see, not many pieces under each block, but of interest, I have had 30 starts this year, 30. And I have had 26 finishes. And some of those are little, but I've been trying to keep track of that. So for the year, I've had 30 starts and 26 finishes. So, yay. Okay, so let's go with my new starts. And as you know, I have been working off of a calendar for Sampler September. And let's see, my last FlossTube was here. So I'm going to be showing you Sally Spencer. My new start was Winter Wonderland. And I did that also with Brenda, the Physical Stitcher. I then went to Anne Campion, which I'll be showing you. And on Monday, I started M. Fayant, which is by Maximum Cross Stitch, which I will be talking about. And then I'm going to round off, and so it will actually be 4 days on Florence Mary Dickinson, which was my birthday start this year with the lovely Judy of Stitching Bunny. So we'll jump in. So my first new start that is right here is M. Fayant by Maximum Cross Stitch. Ellen, you always pick these names that are really hard for me to say. I mean, are you doing that on purpose, or I don't know. But the exciting thing with this is I started this with Trisha of Preb 49. I want to say it's Preb 49. Oh, I hope it is. If not, I'll run it under here. And then I noticed today that Karen Lynch has jumped in. And so I think Mary Darling, I think, is going to also start in. So this is a beautiful pattern that I think I showed you guys last FlossTube. It means a lot to me because Ellen was working on this at our table at Stitch North. So I am doing this in DMC on a 36 count piece of Dirty Porcelain by Roxy Flossco. I think Trisha and Karen for sure are doing it with the Roxy Flossco flosses, which we all know are absolutely gorgeous. There are two colorways that are given, and one is for the front, which is more muted, and then one is for the back. And I selected the brighter. I usually tend to go with the not so bright, but I did. And this is the 4 DMC colors. So it is DMC 517, 581, 598, and 936. And I love this piece of Dirty Porcelain. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is my progress so far. That's like 2.5 days of stitching. I had to get over here and at least start one letter. So I'll probably finish that letter up after I finish filming. But isn't it gorgeous? It's a slightly fiddly border, but not so bad because, there are good chunks of the colors, but I just, as you know, keep the threads there, and then I just work on them as I go down. But it's a beautiful piece of fabric. So that was another start for Sampler September. This is a reproduction sampler. So I love those colors. And it's going to be great fun to follow all of you that are doing it. It is just a start along. There was no official stitch along. It's just come and join us if you would like. Now, this is a fully finished, but I have my piece in this project bag that I made. There is some good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. This was a piece that I had shown you guys that I finished by Darlene and Whimsy. That's not going to be right. I'll run it across. But anyway, this one's pretty much all one color. Almost all of the same colors inside. I think I had to sneak another little color for that piece, but that's okay. So that is a fully finish for a piece called Some Good. This was a free piece. As of right now, it is not available. It was to raise money for Indigenous, the murder and loss of Indigenous women, which is very important. And so I purchased it at that time. Okay, my next new start was Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 36 count piece of lichen by Tabby Cat, which was a very sweet gift from Steph, Lake Girl Stitches, who I shouted out last time for her first FlossTube. So if you haven't gone over and welcomed Steph to the community, please do that. She shows a lot of beautiful samplers. Okay, so this is the colors, and I'm using all the called for, except that I substituted, this is pepperoncini Weeks Dye Works Pepperoncini for the Classic Colorworks pea pod. I don't know if I couldn't find it, but I certainly didn't have it. And like I said, I started this with Brenda, the physical stitcher. Brenda was also at the Zoom meeting on Sunday, and it was wonderful to get to meet with her. So this is my progress so far on Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. So I've been trying to concentrate on borders. I just get so excited and I want to get to the good stuff. But I love this piece of fabric. It is just gorgeous. It's a greeny gray, but I think it looks very wintry. And I think the whites will show up well on it. Pretty well. That is a snowflake right there. So maybe a little muted, but that's okay. I like it. So that was my second new start since I've seen you last. And it's living in a project bag made by me. And another special person has one just like it. Okay, so that is Winter Wonderland. So those are my two new starts and what I would call fully finished, because I have made a project bag with one of my finishes. Okay, so here's where it gets sad. There's just not a lot of whips. Let me tell you, the month of October, I probably will try to concentrate on the some fall and some Halloween, but I am really looking forward to having a whole full bag of whips to show you guys next time. Okay, so let's get started. This, I'm going to try to get through this without getting emotional, but it is And Campion by Hands Across the Sea. I got this at Sampler Symposium in 2023. And if you remember the last time you saw it, which was a while back probably, it was back in May, I had run into a slub and it around the area where I was going to do the 1/1 stitching. That I also didn't realize when I started it, that all of this was 1/1. And here's where it's hard not to get emotional. Everyone was so supportive. And the morning that I sat down, I had to be really in the right frame of mind. I really picked the time that I was going to give this its 3 days. Because I was going to face the slub a little bit, and I was going to try to do, go back and forth between the 1/1 and the 1/2 stitching. And the thing that it made me think of is all of you, first, that support me and encourage me. And then it made me think of Jean, just because she's so encouraging. Jean at the Attic. She hosts these wonderful retreats. It made me think of Jean Farish, because I have watched her video on 1/1 stitching several times as I built up some confidence. I mentioned a FlossTube that I watched about getting the slub, and I will run that below because I should have written it down, because it was a wonderful FlossTube and it helped me very much. And when I actually sat down to do it, that's what I used. I think about Brenda and Laura, and one day she just really said strongly, just get those big girl pants on this 1/1 stuff, and just do it because you can. I think about Jackie of Comfort Stitching, who has said so many times, don't say you can't do it unless you've tried. So when I went to work on this, I was on the shoulders of all of these people, and it felt really good, really good. So I got quite a bit of the slub out. I've done much more of the 1/1, and so this is my work on Anne Campion. So the slub was at the F, this F, right at the bottom. And as many of you said in your comments, these little girls used what they had. They didn't whine and bellyache and throw it in the corner. And my goodness, I certainly forgot to thank the little girl that stitched this originally. So something just fell on the floor, but I'll get it. So this is my work. So I've been doing the letters, and I'm doing them in the 103s. I know Katie suggested the Soie Surfine. I had already started with the 103, but I think going forward, if I'm faced with 1/1, I would love to give that a try as well. So aren't we lucky? Aren't we so fortunate that we have the technology, that we're able to use it and to be guided by so many wonderful people and teachers. This was a big day for me. And so I just want to thank all of you for helping me see some success with this and not be afraid, because I'm really not that far from finishing. I mean, I certainly got a lot of the slower work to do, but so that is Anne Campion by Hands Across the Sea. She is not in any kind of a timeout. Excuse me for 1 second. We're going to go forward, and we're going to get finished, and you're going to get to see her finish someday. Okay, so my next piece is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. And I know this has been a unicorn chart for many of you. And it looks like that at some point in the future, it will be available. And I am stitching Sally on a 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax. And I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks. So this is my progress on Sally Spencer. So I did border work and alphabet. On both sides I did some of the border. I love the blues and reds and whites in this. I just love this piece. I love working on the this fabric, and I very much enjoy the 40 count. So that is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. And that was one of my pieces that I worked on for Sampler September. It also lives in a bag made by me with fabric that is from Paris. So, okay. Next is I just wanted to show the little bit of work I did because I'm trying to get these done. And this was Lantern Santa from a Merry Mini Surprise Prairie Schooler, book 215. And so I made a little more progress on him. I got the lantern done, his boot. So that is on 36 count Murky, and I'm using the called for DMC. Okay. Next is Vince's stocking. That is Woodland Storytime Stocking by Cooler Designs. And I'm stitching this on a 14 count Aida in white, ivory, in antique white. And this humongous thing is his. So I have done a lot of this connecting both sides. I think Santa's face was in when you saw it, and then of course I've taken it down as well. So let's see if we can pull. These animals are so cute. Isn't that darling? So they're all doing well over in the Bay Area. David dislocated his shoulder, which so keep him in your thoughts. He's a very strong young man, but it's making it difficult for him to lift Vince. And David is very much a hands-on dad, so I know this is very hard for him. Eva is about 6 weeks out from her C-section for the baby, and so far we don't know the sex. I think we're just going to leave it like that and let it be a wonderful surprise. So anyway, they're all doing well. Eva's back with her regular OB, and I've got to get that finished. Okay, my next. This was a happy hour stitching, and that is Eddie and Patsy by Maximum Cross Stitch. I think it got a couple of happy hour nights. I'm stitching this on a 36 count Catnap by Roxy Floss Co., and I'm using the called for Roxy Floss Co. Overdyed floss. And this is my progress. I am working on this flower right here, so I got a lot more of that done. And again, especially when I hold it up, when I'm filming, that fabric is just gorgeous. So that's Eddie and Patsy by Maximum Cross Stitch. A happy hour stitch. Okay, next we have okay, this is going to be a promise. I wasn't even going to show it this time because I know, based on how many X's you see, you have to be tired of seeing this, but I am very close. But I wanted you to see it today because this is Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais. And I'm stitching it on a 36 count Stars Hollow Blend by R&R Reproductions. And I'm using the called for overdyed floss. So I had asked a question about the cherries at the top in the tree, about leaving them unstitched. I mean, not the cherries, but just the center. So I thought that the color was going to be the same, a color very close to this, and it is not. It was wood rose. So I put it in, and I'm glad I did. Here's one that I still have to do, just that one spot right there. And I like it. I like the pink. If it had been like corn silk or one of those colors, I would have left it. The center of these flowers in her dress, she's got shoes and a dress. You know what? One of you suggested when her dress was so short, I should have just stitched thigh-high boots. Boy, did I love that idea. Anyway, so she's got her little dainty slippers on. But once I'm about like down to here as far as putting in the little centers of these pieces on her dress, the bottom piece is completely done. The bottom here is completely done except for the grass. So that is total fill-in stitching. So my promise to you is that if it kills me, I'm going to have this done next time. And if you don't see it next time, I didn't. But I will. So that is summer. And I think all the bees are done. I got, I had to do 4 bees down here, and I had 2 more bees to put right here. And another word to the wise, if you find out I left a bee out, you don't have to tell me. They're so fiddly. Okay, so that is my 2 threads a day piece, which means I take 2 links of my DMC or my overdyed floss and put those in every day. So, and then let's see. My last piece is my focus piece, which is also getting close, and that is Oh Joyous Day. Oh, and I've seen so many finishes. It almost finishes. And this is by Blackbird Designs. I'm stitching this on a 36 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. I'm using the called for overdyed floss. And here is where I am. So I'm getting across on those flowers. I am saving all the, there's going to be a band of satin stitch, a top and bottom. But it's getting really close. Oh, I love it. I'm going to put the initials of my 3 daughters, Diane, Allison, and Eva. So that is Oh Joyous Day, and that is my focus piece. This actually had to take happy hour stitching this month because of working on samplers, but I worked more than 7 happy hours on it. So, and for those of you that are new, my happy hour stitching is usually from 5 to 7. So that is what I mean when I refer to my happy hour stitching. Okay, so those are my whips. And again, it's really a small number, right? Excuse me. Our weather's not too hot, but it is hot. And normally we keep this room, with the drapes a little closed, but I love all the natural light for my filming. And so it gets just a little bit warm in here. So that is my stitching. Okay. Now, we are going to, I had some incredible happy mail. I don't even know where to start. And I mean really thoughtful, incredible happy mail. So let's jump into that. So the first one was from Lisa, Lost in Floss. And she sent this beautiful card with a lovely note. And just things that shows that she watches and that she listens. I got some tapestry needles, John James. I got a beautiful, I've never worked with Threadworks overdyed floss. So this will be fun to try out. I got stickers, very cool stickers. It was very hard for me not to sticker something up, but I wanted to save them to show you guys. I got this wonderful chart, and this is the chart that someone used that made my small for Stitch North. So I'm very happy to have that because then I can stitch it for a small for someone and pass it on. But here's the 2 pieces that just, I got a piece of 25 count mushroom Lugana. That's very touching. And the piece de resistance was my hummingbird needle minder. Look at that. Thank you, Lisa. That was so generous and so thoughtful. And this is, I will run it down below. This was made, by someone she buys a lot of needle minders from. I'll run it down below though, so that that you'll all know where she gets these. So thank you so much. I'm so excited now that I can dive in and use some of this stuff. My next my next piece is going to require just a little bit of history, because if you guys remember, I showed you a piece from a sampler. I think the name of the sampler was Betty Glover. It was a free sampler from Hewitt House that I got a long time ago. And before I even knew who Kim was, a contented stitcher, or that Laura was stitching women for a dough bowl out of her samplers, I had just started stitching the woman in this sampler. I was stitching it on a larger count using 2 threads, and when I found it, I knew that I really wouldn't ever finish it. So I said that. And Anne wrote me and said she would love to finish it. And I thought, oh, how wonderful. I will pack that up and send it to her, and there will be, Betty will be in a home that loves her. But Betty is back with me. Okay, here we go. Anne made a project bag with Betty. And it says Sarah Stitchy Spot. And she put Chester. She has a hoop with my initial. She has gray hair. She has peacocks. That's because Anne likes peacocks. She got some of these motifs from the Brenda Keyes Sampler Motif book. She made the zipper fob. But on the back is some of the pieces that she had left from a piece that an English paper piecing project that she was working on. And I'm relatively positive that this is William Morris, and I've never had anything with William Morris fabric. She sent me the the diagram to make these hexies. And I'm going to put her Instagram underneath, because I want you to go and check out her Instagram and see the beautiful piece that she made. But all the little details, she also sent, it's a beautiful zipper. It's got a handle. It's got this gorgeous fabric inside. She tea-dyed the fabric. I don't even know what to say. But along with that, she made another, let's see if we can, another zipper fob with a chicken on it, because, and then it has an S. We plan, Anne and I, we're going to start this, and we're going to talk about when we're going to start it. But this was one of the charts that I got from Sheri, Colorado Cross Stitcher. I was selected for the June cross stitch camp and got this wonderful package of charts and a project bag. So we're going to talk about when we're going to start that. So Anne, thank you. I hope I'm remembering everything. And she even sent some of the fabric so you could see the difference in it being tea-dyed. I mean, it's just, and she sent me the chart where she, on the graph paper, had done Sarah's stitchy spot. So I can do that again. I don't know what to say. It was really touching. And then, sorry, I've gotten to where now I have my Kleenex out. But then that's not all that I got. I got a package just a couple of days ago from Betsy Klager. And this was her beautiful card. Of course, Hammy's going to be on there. Hamilton is her cat. She made a stitching box. I don't have a stitching box. And this is what it looks like. Now, Hammy, this is a beautiful picture of Hamilton. I had this card, but he's going to live in here. So there's this beautiful cat for floss. I have a needle holder. You can see the beautiful fabric inside is just all decorated. I've got little charms here, but I can fill it with, you know, with whatever I want. There's a kitty cat applique type thing right here. I mean, look at the measuring tape. I have a little needle book that matches the fabric inside, and then I got a needle minder that says good vibes. So thank you, Betsy, from like the bottom of my heart. Somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good to have all of you in my life. So thank you so much for making me laugh and cry and smile and feel loved, because we all love to feel loved. And Annie is so worried. She's come over and stuck her head in my lap because I think she could tell I was crying. So anyway, that is my happy mail. I did get a copy of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, which I always, if you're going to subscribe to something, this is wonderful. I haven't even had a chance to look at it yet, so I can't wait to just grab those few minutes and go through the beautiful charts in this. I am going to be making a little FlossTube extra. This was the first time I accepted a light to review. And so probably shortly after this goes up or just before, I will do it separately. I'm going to do a little review on this light that I got. I do like it, but I will be able to show it up close. I think I'll have a code. I think the price point is good. So I will be, I'll be filming or recording that, shortly. Okay, so, nose is running. So there we go. That's me. I wanted to say that one of my viewers that was facing a crisis is through it. Yay! And we'll be back to stitching, I'm sure, very soon. I think we all saw on Instagram that Sheila, Crow River Stitcher, she has had her surgery. She's waiting on the pathology, but I think the signs are good that that's going to go well. So Sheila, know that we're still all here and that we're still all sending you prayers and good thoughts. So if you were new and you liked what you saw, I hope you will subscribe, ring the bell, like, share, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. Let's continue to spread our kindness, our love, our generosity, because we need it out in the world so bad. And please know that you mean the absolute world to me. So I think I've covered everything that's on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Bye-bye. Until next time.
Keep going, buddy. Keep going. Let's go.